Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Chris Abbott, but all my friends just call me Abbo. And in this video, I'm going to outline one of the most powerful ministry strategies that I've seen in the last several years and how you can start doing it at your church and take advantage of the momentum that it can bring to your church, right? Because we all know there's nothing that brings momentum like a bunch of fresh faces and a steady stream of new visitors to our church every single Sunday. So let's dive in and let's talk about how to start doing Plan Your Visit at your church coming up. Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back. If you're new to the channel, we are putting out videos every single day, 5 days a week, helping you with practical tips and strategies to be able to reach the next generation for Jesus and be more effective in your ministry. So what we want to do today is kind of outline Plan Your Visit and talk about how easy it is to actually launch this at your church. So my guess is if you clicked on this, you either A, are interested in Plan Your Visit, but you're probably not doing it yet, or B, have no idea what Plan Your Visit is. So let's break down what it is first, and then we'll kind of go into exactly how we figured this out and how it works at your church. Okay, so at its core, Plan Your Visit is not a button or an app that you put on your website. This is actually just a ministry that's going to be an extension of your guest services, right? So this is giving people the ability to actually schedule an appointment to visit your church on Sunday. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to have a friendly person from your Plan Your Visit team meet them at the front door and kind of host their visit. So it's kind of the exact same thing you would do if your best friend decided to come visit your church on Sunday. You'd probably meet them at the front door, you'd help them get their kids checked into kids' church, introduce them around to some of the key staff and leaders, right? You give them a tour of the building, you'd save seats for them in service, you'd sit with them in service, right? It's the reason that a personal invite is so powerful in the church world. It's because there's nothing like having a friendly face waiting for you at church to show you around. And that's exactly what this does, only for first-time visitors who don't know anybody at your church. Now, when I first started doing this at my church, we actually increased our first-time visitors in the first month by 42%, in the second month by 60%, in the third month by 87%, and in the fourth month by 113%. But here's kind of the funny thing, we actually did this by accident, okay? So literally we kind of stumbled on this by accident. So here's what happened is years ago, I was actually visiting a church, right? My wife and I were looking for a new church in town. And so I found a church that had this option where you could schedule an appointment to visit the church. And I don't remember what they called it, you know, the VIP program or the red carpet program or, you know, something like that. But I liked the idea that I could meet someone there and they could kind of show me around and introduce me around, right? That was the biggest thing that we were trying to figure out is we wanted to meet some people who were kind of in the same season of life as us, right? We just had a baby. And so we wanted to see, are there other young couples there that, you know, have kids our age and, you know, how are they like in the church? So I signed up for this VIP program, right? We show up on Sunday morning and it was cool. Like there was actually somebody who walked out and actually met us at a car and said, "Hey, are you guys the Abbotts?" I'm like, "Well, we sure are. What's up, man?" Right? So he said, "Hey, right this way, man. We've been waiting for you. Super excited to have you here." So I was pumped, right? But then we went inside and they helped us get our son checked into kids' church. And then they just kind of pointed the way and said, "Okay, you're just going to go down that hallway and you'll check him in on the fourth door on the right. Man, have a great service." Right? And I was super disappointed because I was like, man, this actually could have been so much better. Like they started off with a really, really strong greeting and meeting us out there, you know, made us feel known and appreciated the fact that they were actually waiting for us. We thought that was pretty cool, right? Made it really seamless to help us get our son checked into kids' church. But then they just kind of pointed the way and said, "Well, good luck." Although we ended up having a great time at the service, this idea of scheduling an appointment to visit church just stuck with me, right? So for 2 years, I just kind of kept stewing on this and having this idea, like, I think this could work, but I think we could do this better. Right? Like I think we could actually host people. And what if it literally was like having a best friend waiting for you at the front door, right? Instead of like a VIP program, right? Because here's the deal, like, man, my wife and I showed up, we didn't want to be treated like rock stars or like VIP, right? We just wanted to be treated like family. We wanted to be treated like we belonged, like we've been going there for years, right? That's the cool thing about visiting a church with your friend. They already know everybody, right? And they treat you like family. Okay, so fast forward a couple of years and my church actually contracted me to come in and rebuild the website, right? So as I'm building it, I'm still thinking about this idea of scheduling an appointment to visit church. And I noticed that there were a couple of different places like Disney World and like the local zoo and a couple of different organizations that had this Plan Your Visit option. right? And so the more I started thinking about it, I'm like, oh, that's what it is, right? This should be Plan Your Visit, where you can basically plan your visit in advance and you can schedule an appointment to visit your church. So I actually built out an entire Plan Your Visit landing page into the new website, came up with this whole idea, and my boss nixed it and told me to delete everything. We weren't gonna launch that. Because at the end of the day, she was thinking probably what a lot of you guys are thinking. It's that it would be this really big deal to kind of launch this new option and this new ministry, and we'd have to train people for months. I tried telling her, listen, it's not gonna be that way at all. All we have to do is put friendly people at the front door, right? They know what to do. Extroverts love meeting new people, and you don't have to train them. They know exactly how to take care of new people. Just tell them, hey, just treat them like they're your new best friend that just showed up. Right? And so for about 9 months, I tried to convince her that we could do this. Finally, in Easter 2017, I just thought, okay, I'm gonna launch this anyway. Nobody's letting me do this. Either it's gonna be a smashing success and I'll look like a rock star, or it's gonna fail miserably. You know, what's the worst that can happen? So I actually went to Katie, who was over all of our guest services. I said, Katie, we're gonna launch Plan Your Visit. It's a top secret mission. Here's what's gonna happen. We may get in a little bit of trouble, but I think it's worth it, right? She was like, I love it, let's do it. So we launch it for Easter. And the short version is basically our Plan Your Visit just exploded, right? She came in the Monday before Easter, said, oh my gosh, take it off the website. I have way too many Plan Your Visits. I ran out of hosts over the weekend. I don't have any more friendly people to host all of the families who have signed up for Plan Your Visit on Easter Sunday, right? So a week before Easter Sunday, we have to take it off the website. I think we were on track to have over 100, maybe even over 200 Plan Your Visits for Easter Sunday, right? Crazy. The very first Sunday we launch it and it ends up working like crazy, right? So not only did we have tons of Plan Your Visit, but it attracted a lot of people to our church website to learn more about Easter Sunday. And when we showed up on Easter Sunday, we maxed out our main sanctuary, we maxed out our overflow sanctuary, we maxed out our kids building. We actually found out that our kids building was 3 times over the legal limit that the fire marshal would let us have. So we had to shut down our kids check-in, and we had this long line of young families going through the lobby, down the hallway, and out into the parking lot. And we had to tell all of them, we're so sorry, we don't have any more seats for you in our main sanctuary, our overflow sanctuary, and we can't fit your kids into kids' church. So we ended up having over 1,000 people who were stuck outside on Easter Sunday, right? Great problem to have, but still a problem. Right? So now here's kind of the accidental part, right? So it works. My pastor's like, oh my gosh, great job. This was amazing. I love this idea, right? So I'm flying high. I'm feeling good. I actually forgot to take Plan Your Visit of the website. So I'd taken it off the Easter page when Katie asked me to, but I forgot to take it off some other places on the website, right? So we had Facebook ads going every single week, just sending new people to our website, inviting them out to come to church. And about a month later, I end up having a conversation with Katie, and she mentioned something about Plan Your Visit. Right? And I was just like, oh yeah, like I know Plan Your Visit was awesome at Easter. And she goes, no, I mean like Plan Your Visit from this weekend. I said, well, we took it off the website. She goes, no, I've had like 5, 6, 7 families sign up for Plan Your Visit every single week since Easter. I'm like, Katie, it's been a month. Like, are you kidding me? She's like, oh yeah, every single week. Right? And so I go back and I start looking at all the stats. I'm like, oh my gosh, right? So we actually ended up increasing our first-time visitors in that entire month by 42% by accident, right? I didn't know that Plan Your Visit was still on the website. So after that, I decided to be intentional, right? So I rebuilt out the Plan Your Visit landing page. I started redirecting all of our Facebook ads to send people to the Plan Your Visit page, and things just exploded. Like I said, we increased our first-time visitors by 42% in the first month, by 60% in the second month, by 87% in the third month, and 113% in the fourth month. So we literally grew our church over the summer, but it all started by accident using this idea of Plan Your Visit. Now at that point, it had grown so much that my pastor just said, man, we've got to teach other churches how to do this. So we ended up having a church conference, and we flew a bunch of his friends in from all over the country. And I basically just kind of taught this system for 2 days. And then they took this back to their church, and then they started seeing similar results. So at that point, we ended up actually starting a church network, and I started teaching what we started calling the Plan Your Visit model to thousands of churches all over the country in the next several years. Okay, so before I get to my last couple of points, make sure to subscribe to this channel. We're putting out brand new content every single day, 5 days a week. And if you hit the subscribe button and then that little bell icon, you'll get notified every single time we drop a new video. Okay, so at this point, hopefully I've convinced you that Plan Your Visit is one of the coolest, most powerful ministries that you can launch at your church, right? So the next question is probably, okay, how do I start doing this at my church? Well, here's the thing, it's actually way easier than you think. Okay, so just like my boss was wondering, okay, no, we're gonna have to train all these people and we're gonna have to figure this thing out, right? But then Katie and I launched it, and all we did was put friendly people with new people who were signing up, right? It's super simple. That's really all you have to do. Now, Mark Mark Twain says that the man who grabs a cat by the tail knows 80% more about cats than the man who doesn't. Right? So the best way to launch Plan Your Visit legitimately is ready, fire, aim. So the best thing you can do is literally just put this on your website, start running some traffic to it using Facebook ads or some Google AdWords, or if you have the Google grant, you can actually use some of Google's money in order to do that. And then whenever you have someone sign up for Plan Your Visit, all you have to do is just get one of your friendly people to host them on Sunday morning. You just want to grab somebody from your church who's naturally friendly, smiles all the time, right? Has never met a stranger. We call them our people. These types of people love being on the Plan Your Visit ministry because they love hosting new people, they love meeting new people, and you don't even really have to train them. All you have to do is just tell them, hey, when you meet the Johnson family on Sunday, all you want to do is help them get their kids checked into kids church, give them a tour of the building, introduce them to some key staff and leaders. Okay, bonus points if you introduce them to some people that are in the same season of life as they are. Save seats for them in service and sit with them in service, right? That way, it's like they have a best friend waiting for them at the front door, right? So you don't want to treat them like VIP, you want to treat them like family. And finally, the last thing you want to do is make sure that your Plan Your Visit team is introducing all of the guests to the pastor at some point during their first visit, right? The reason why is this: 80% of people who meet the pastor on the first visit will come back for a second visit. No matter what, even if the rest of the visit goes a little bit awkward, no problem. As long as that first-time visitor has a chance to meet you as the pastor, 8 out of 10 of them will come back for a second visit. And as we all know, the only thing better than a first-time visitor is a second-time visitor. Okay, so if you want to learn more about the Plan Your Visit model and how you can use Plan Your Visit at your church to start growing your church and attracting new visitors, jump into the Church Marketers Facebook group. See, this is a group that we're having conversations about Facebook ads, social media, and especially Plan Your Visit all the time. And so you can actually click on the link in the description below, or you can simply go over to Facebook and type in Church Marketers group. And myself, Ryan Wakefield, the entire CMU team, and a ton of other pastors and church leaders are in that group, and we can continue the conversation on Facebook.